Billie Ray Bates of BRBTV in Ontario, Canada, at the site of the Fleetwood Country Cruise-In, which is a car show that's held every year on the Steve Plunkett estate here in Ontario. See lots of beautiful cars of every make and model, but I wasn't here to see cars. I was here to see Mr. Bo Hopkins. I had talked to Mr. Hopkins a few years ago when I was originally researching my Dynasty High reference guide to the TV show Dynasty, but this time I got to meet him in person. I was very excited about that, and this is what he said.
That's what she says about me. I'm stuck.
That's why it's like having 5 years.
Right. Good luck on that contract. Have a good summer.
Yeah, you have a good one too.
Okay, darling. Thanks for helping.
So, Mr. Bo Hopkins,
Yes, ma'am.
so wonderful to meet you in person, although we've spoken through email.
We finally meet.
Yeah, and we're here at the Fleetwood Country Cruise-In, which is a show that you've done a few times over the years, right? Here in Ontario, Canada, at the Steve Plunkett estate, which is a beautiful house.
It is.
Yeah.
He puts on the best show, I think.
Yeah. You're meeting and greeting, of course, and signing photos and things like that. You know what I would love to ask you about? And I saw the photo earlier here. You had a Charlie's Angels photo with Farrah.
Yeah, I put him in.
Because you were in a couple episodes of that, if I remember correctly, including the pilot.
And then I also did a two-parter for Love Boat, Charlie's Angels.
Okay. What do you remember of the experience of filming the pilot with Farrah, with the, the launch of the show that became so popular? Did you guys have any idea when you were filming the pilot how popular the show would become?
I actually told Muldour, who was co-star, Elizabeth Muldour, I said, you know what, this thing ain't gonna go because they all gonna be fussing over the same dresses, and wearing that hat. And it went for
several years, although only season 1 with Farrah. Now, what was it like working with her? What do you remember about being on the set with her?
Well, she and I used to jog in the mornings, and she was, we'd play tennis together, and she was just a great person.
Wow.
Great person.
You played tennis with Farrah, because that was her sport, if I remember correctly.
Well, the other thing about it, too, was when we were jogging, I said, look, if you want to jog with me, you're going to have to wear a bra. My head was going like that, so.
They were kind of infamous on that show. I think all 3 females, they were a little infamous for not wearing that particular part of their outfit.
Well,
that.
she was laughing. I think she knew she's just more comfortable.
Yeah.
My neck was killing me.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny that you went jogging with her.
Oh God, she could run. She could run. She was very athletic.
Did you keep up with her in later years at all?
I would see Jackie and her once in a while, and they would. We were glad to see each other. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Linda and I dated when she did the Rookies.
Okay.
And we went to a USC game together.
Oh wow.
And so I knew. I didn't know Jackie, but I had known Farrah.
Okay. Now let's talk a little bit about Dynasty. Of course, you were on the first couple seasons of that. That was a great role for you. That was a really punky role.
It was. It was I was doing Rodeo Girl with Catherine Ross, and Candy was in it. And
hi, Candy.
So it was called Oil, and I turned it down the first time.
Mm-hmm.
The second time they called back, and my agent said they offered a lot more money out.
Nice.
So I told Jackie Cooper, and he said, well, go ahead and do it, because you've done pilots that didn't sell. And I said, you're right, because they were paying me to do a 2-week pilot.
So you were thinking that it wouldn't sell, it would only be a small time commitment, or what were you thinking?
I was thinking, well, I'll do the pilot, and maybe it won't sell.
And it would just be a quickie, and you'd be in and out of it.
It would be a quickie, like movie of the week, and I'd go on to another one. And 2 weeks in the show, because we shot it at Hearst Castle. And so George Papard was the first.
Blake. Yes.
And he and I played off each other. It was tough for me to, and then when they fired him, I had to go back and reshoot.
Oh, so you did shoot scenes. You shot scenes with George for Okay. Wow.
2 weeks later, they reshot these scenes.
Okay.
And
Laverne and Shirley.
I had to go all the way back up to San Francisco and shoot
Who are they?
the pilot all over again. I won't be but a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
You all right?
Oh, well.
So, anyway, when John Forsythe and I, George Ford and I had a good knockdown fight, but I couldn't hit.
That was brutal. That was kind of a dark moment of the series. I remember that.
Yeah, but then I couldn't hit John. He was too old. So I did it the first year, thinking I was going to do it the second, and then they started changing. They wanted to bring back Dale Robinson's character, who was like a father, a godfather to me. So I had to well, I left the show when the producers left, Esther and Richard Shapiro. So, but I enjoyed doing it the first year,
Were you surprised that they brought you back? How did that come about? How far in advance did you know that
later on?
I said, a few seasons later.
I'll come do it if you kill me off. And they said, fine.
You mean you asked to be killed off?
Yes, but in television, be a dream. You ain't never killed off.
That's right.
So, so that's what that went. Well, I agreed to come back and do a two-parter. They wanted to open it. This is like 3 years later, and they wanted to open it, and I said okay. And I told Richard that I wanted Don Medford to direct it because he directed me in a lot of my scene episodes. So they did, and so that's why I did the two-parter. And
Tell me your name.
It was quite a shock when that was you, when it was Matthew,
Yeah, the thing about it was the whole premise of Dynasty was the oil. It was how I worked my way up to be as big as Blake Cameron.
Right.
How would I react? How would I be? And that's what, when I signed to do the show, that's what it was supposed to be. But then, Aaron Spelling and them decided that they wanted to make it. I don't know. Hell, they went now to space. For Christ's sake, remember that?
Fallon and the UFO abduction.
Yeah. Damn, I'm glad to be out of that.
That's when it became really campy.
That was
early in the series. It was quite a lot more serious.
It was about my family and his family.
Yes. The rich and basically the working class.
That's right.
And
it was the working class, and I was a geologist working for him, and then I didn't like the way that he dealt people. So the whole premise of the show, then they brought in Joan Collins, and it became a
glitzy, glammy,
a bitch show. So but I had a good time the first year because all of us, I didn't have to carry the show with 9 people, but I did carry the first 9 episodes, so it didn't much matter. But I was used to it by then. I was used to memorizing, next week's during that week.
Right.
So I worked my way up, and I didn't want to do television anymore. But they offered so much money that I'd have been a damn fool to turn it down.
So you were more interested in movies at that point in your career?
I was more into I had worked my way up to a point where I was getting different roles, not Southern roles, but different roles. And I decided that I didn't want to do a television series.
Came out in 1973.
Because I had done one called Doc Elliott with Jimmy Francisco. And then when I did Dynasty, see, the producers are not to blame if something goes wrong. The writer's not to blame. The actors are to blame. And so that's why I didn't want to do it.
Yeah, everything falls on you.
Yeah. And so, but I did more movies after that, but I didn't want to do television. I hadn't done television in 15 years.
Well, what are you doing these days? Do you have any roles
I'm
coming
doing a
up?
play right now. I've done movies in the last 2 years.
Okay.
But I didn't know I was going to have a son late in life, so now I got to get back out. Yeah, pull it out.
Yeah.
So
Bo and I do a lot of shows.
what was that line in The Godfather? Just when I thought it was safe, they pulled me back in. Actually, Bill's pulled me back in.
Yeah.
But I'm doing a play first time in 25 years in July.
Okay.
I started on stage in South Carolina, went to Duke, and then went to Kentucky. So I'm kind of anxious to get back on stage, and if I'm hoping what I'm hoping, then I might do a TV show. I don't know.
I was going to say,
they probably don't want me now.
So you enjoy being on stage more than
I enjoy
in front of a
being
camera,
on
it sounds
stage
like.
because of the fact that you're with the audience.
Yeah.
I'm gonna excuse me one second while they make money.
Black and whites are 10.
Sell this picture for $1 million. Well, $20. You want me to put your name on it?
Yeah.
Marshall. M-A-R-G-O. Oh, well, give her my love, will you?
How old's your son?
He'll be 18, 7-11.
Oh, you have an 18-year-old. Aren't they fun?
Well, I got a 40-year-old daughter.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah, God, I'm telling you, I never heard of Viagra. Oh, no, I'm kidding. Yeah, my daughter, I had to get married when I was 16. Born service when I was 16. So she wanted a sweet 16 for me now. But yeah, I'm really happy that. First of all, I've been very blessed in the business to work with great actors and directors. And I like the era I worked in. I don't like it now. Well, you got corporations running studios. They know as much about acting as they know about politics, which ain't, by the way, no worse than what they are in the States. No things as many damn lawyers that are bigger idiots. Print that.
That was another thing I was going to ask you, is how you've seen the industry change.
My character's name is
How you've seen the industry change over the years, you know?
Well, it's changed in the, thank you, darling, and you guys have a good summer. It's changed in the sense that, you see, they only know money.
Okay, so that's 20.
Sorry?
They only know money.
And I'm not going to charge you.
Accountants. I liked it when the studios run it because they did know talent, the old studios, and writers. You know, they were great writers.
No.
And you know, most people watch the old Turner movie classics because they love movies.
Too bad. I already
And the
have
stuff they got now is blue screen, blow up.
Everything is added in digitally. It's like nothing is really filmed anymore. You just have a couple actors and then you paste in everything
And
behind
no story.
them. Yeah.
No stories.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the difference. That's why I'm not going to bite the hand that feeds me, but I will say what I want to say about people that don't know what they're doing. And most of them don't.
Wow. Now, I see also that you worked with Johnny Cash. You had a photo with Johnny Cash. I want to know what Johnny Cash was like. Oh, he's one of my idols, one of my all-time idols.
Well, he was great as he and June were just made for each other.
Thank you.
Here, son, you want me to sign that? You know, he proposed to June up here in London. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Right here in London. His manager's from here. And he proposed to June. There you go. Thank you. You bet.
Wow, I had no idea.
Yeah, they proposed right here. And they were great people. We did Thaddeus Rose and Eddie, and I had the greatest time. I just got back from Italy on a movie and went to Texas with Johnny and June and had a great time. Great time. They were such great people.
Now, you know, a lot of other stars these days are doing these kind of appearances, but more on like the Comic Cons, the autograph shows and stuff like that. I don't see you on that circuit though, do I? Do you ever do shows like that?
No, I can't.
This is kind of a rare appearance by you, isn't it?
I don't go out there as much as that I could, and I don't like traveling anymore. I mean, going to the airport now is as much fun as going to an all-night Dennis. So I kind of space it out, and also I've always figured if people don't see you, they think about you more. If you see an actor too much, you burn yourself out.
So you want kind of that allure of mystery, perhaps, by being out of the limelight?
Only when I have to be in it, and it's so phony. But listen, I'm not downing it because a lot of hell you got. If you do a movie, you got to sell it. Let's just put it this way: if I could go to work from 9 to 6 and go home, that would be great. But you can't do that.
It's long hours on the set.
No.
Yeah.
So I'm not. I love this business. I love the people that I've worked with, and I love actors. I think as I've gotten older, also, I think that's why I'm getting back on stage. I want to kind of recharge the batteries. And I think I'd be a better actor now because I don't have to worry about having some kind of mystique or something about you. It's different. You just play a character. So, I think it's a lot more fun when I go on a set now. Plus, everybody's big fans of mine, and that makes me feel good.
Yeah, it does.